right. Welcome to the Monday, November 13th, the regular meeting of the Somerville Licensing Commission. Present with me in the City Council chambers are myself, acting chair for today's meeting, as Commissioner Lynch is unavailable. Also present is Commissioner Thomas, Assistant City Clerk Bernabe Rodriguez. Joining us remotely are Lieutenant Mitsakis of the Somerville Police Department, Captain Bakey of the Somerville Fire Department, and representing the Engineering Department, Isabella de Mora Maya. Reading off some boilerplate. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting of the Licensing Commission may be conducted via remote participation. We'll post an audio recording, audio-video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of these proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting on the City of Somerville's website. Hopping into the regular agenda, first item is minutes of the regular licensing commission meeting of 10/23/23. Commissioner Thomas, have you read those? Do you have any thoughts, questions?
No questions on that.
Perfect. With that said, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Sorry, just to jump in, I'm gonna do the roll call.
Perfect.
So,
I will yield to the roll call for all of us.
So on the item, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch, with 2 in favor and 1 absent, this item is approved.
Excellent. We received a request to take an item out of order. We will do so now. Moving to item number 7, an existing all forms alcohol license requesting private patio seating. Mike's Bar, DBA Parisi's Cafe, 97 Washington Street, Somerville, requesting approval of a private patio seating license with 44 private seats. This is notice of a public hearing. Is the applicant present?
If you are here to speak on behalf of Michael's Bar, please hit the raised hand icon in the chat. Again, if you are here to speak on behalf of Michael's Bar, please hit the raised hand icon in the chat. I don't see anyone, Chair Allen.
All right, well, they requested to take it out of order. Now they fall to the end of, well, no, engineering
So
wanted to
we
present
can-
on this.
Yeah, so we can still take it up, if you would like, and hear from the engineering department and take the public hearing.
Yeah, let's move forward with that then. Isabella, if you'd like to provide your notes and recommendation.
Yes, of course. Good evening. Thanks for taking this out of order. The administration recommends this for approval. They revised their plans and complied with every requirement that we requested.
Excellent, thank you. Commissioner Thomas, do you have any questions for engineering?
No questions.
Excellent. Let's move to public comment. Okay. You can leave you unmuted while you look at it. gentleman, if you want to speak on this issue.
Yes, hello.
Please state
Can you
your
hear
name.
me?
Yes.
Hi, how are you, commissioners? I'm Miguel Sagun, and I'm one of the neighbors adjacent to Mike Bar. We have submitted a lot of information to you to consider to please deny this request. The clients and the owners, they allow their current clients to drink outside without a permit, and it's a nightmare. We also have submitted information about their clients coming to our driveway and use drugs in our stepway, and it's a nightmare. So I hope that there's other neighbors also here, but we're begging you not to allow this. They are noisy. The current owners do not respect the neighborhood. We have asked them to please help us to keep their clients inside or to put any notices or any signs, and they do not respect our neighborhood.
Thank you.
And I hope.
My apologies. Miguel, I'm gonna unmute you again. My apologies. I hit the mute button by accident.
No worries, I'm here. And I hope the commissioners have received all the information that we have sent, and it's really important for us and for the community to keep us safe. So thank you so much for considering our proposal.
Thank you very much.
Shelley Calder, I'm going to unmute you.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, welcome. Please state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Shelley Calder, and I would just say we missed the beginning. I think something was going on with the audio, so we had missed the opening part of this. Yes, I would just like to support what Miguel had just stated, and it, you know, for the neighborhood, the challenge is they are unable to manage their space currently, which is not licensed for outdoors. You know, to the best of their efforts, you know, they're not doing a great job managing their patrons. And I think by putting something outdoors without having any discussion with the neighborhood is not really acceptable. So I think that. And we've sent you, I think you have about 17 pages of different neighbors from around this neighborhood that have some that have been here for a very long time, that have put forward a motion to not approve this.
Thank you.
Okay, if anybody else would like to speak on this item, please hit the raise hand icon. Milton Yarberry, I'm going to unmute you.
Yes, thank you for hearing our input. Basically, I just wanted to reinforce what has been said. The further perspective I would put on it is that, I mean, it's a challenging business, and the key issue is being able to regulate your patrons. I am very pro, you know, the business in the neighborhood. I like the idea of the establishment. It's just that the external management, meaning around the sidewalk, the parking lot, the street side, it's difficult. I'm not sure it is manageable even by, you know, those with the best intentions. So thank you for my input.
Thank you. And could you just state your name for the record?
Oh, apologies. Yes, Milton Yarberry.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else would like to speak on this item, please hit the raise hand icon in the chat. Again, if anybody would like to speak on this item, oh, Tom, my apologies if I don't know how to pronounce your name. I will unmute you. Oh.
Hi, yes, this is Tom Levenka. I live next door, and like the others have said, Michael's has been a big disturbance. you know, tried to talk to the owner at once and she just shrugged and said, you know, what can we do? So there's been no attempt to reel in the customers. And this is going to be just a much more significant disturbance if this patio is approved. So I ask that you do not approve. Thank you.
Thank you.
If anybody else would like to speak on this item, please hit the raise hand icon. Again, if anybody else would like to speak on this item, please hit the raise hand icon. Don't see anybody else that spoke already.
All right. Can we try the applicant again to see if they're able to join?
Yes, I'm going to lower all the hands that are still up and then, okay. So Michelle pulled up, I'm going to, oh, you are unmuted.
Yeah, sure. I am unmuted. I think that the challenge here is that we're looking to change our business a little bit in terms of offering an outdoor space, getting a new clientele, and other businesses in Somerville are allowed outdoor patios. I would say, you know, being in proximity to any bar isn't a good thing in terms of where your home is located. So I don't know why I have to suffer.
Can you please, thank you for joining us today. Just again, to dot our I's, cross our T's, could you please state your name for the record and state your relationship to the establishment?
Michelle Kilduff. I am the owner of Michael's Bar.
Thank you. Okay, anything else that you'd like to state before we have questions for you?
No, I would just argue that any bar is a rowdy type of atmosphere. It's it's our private property and we're allowed to have an outdoor patio space if it gets approved. Currently, I'm only aware that our patrons are going outdoors to smoke. We've noted that they cannot drink outside right now until this gets approved. I guess I would just say it's too bad. I'm sorry that my bar is located on a main road and that it backs up to a residential area, but I have a business to run. I have grandkids to feed and I just apologize. But it's my livelihood. COVID has been tough and we haven't been able to open an outdoor patio for a couple of years. With the shutdown of COVID for a year, my disabled husband, we rely on this income and it's just been hard. So I just ask that you keep all that in mind. We've been a business that has been there for over 75 years. And, you know, things are tough and an outdoor patio would help increase our revenue stream. Thank you.
Thank you. Lieutenant Mitsakis, do you have anything that you'd like to put into the record?
Good evening. I'm not familiar with the establishment as much as the city is, but based on the call volume, it's been there for years, like she stated, but the calls we get there are it's more of every bar does have an issue somewhat, but for some reason, Michael's has had the reputation of being more of the offices specifically have a tough time there with the patrons. There's always, they're not as inviting to when they're asked to leave. There's always a fight. And the problem I have is for the outside seating, most places, as the owner stated, the city has allowed it, but they have a food establishment set up. I don't think Michael's has anything set up for food. I don't think there's a kitchen in there, if I'm correct. She's on, could she answer that?
Yes, we've been grandfathered in to not have to serve food. During COVID, we serve food, but we don't have to serve food.
So the problem I have is if you, again, I grew up in a family without restaurants and stuff, so I don't want to discourage. But when you, like you said, you're on a main road, there's residents in the back. The reputation of that bar has always been more on the tougher side for us to deal with. I think if you inject outside seating, it's gonna drag into the neighborhood. That's my opinion. If you can correct it, I think the police department will be on board more, meaning the clientele you allow in there over the years has been problems, and I think you know that. And it's not your choice. I think it's more the location close to Boston. It's always been a problem. Some of the other bars in Somerville have been like that over the years, but they're no longer in business. They're gone.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Like I said, if the inside, if there was an issue that we can justify having the seating for the food establishment, if they're gonna sit outside and eat and enjoy a beverage, that's fine. But if they're just gonna sit out there and drink, I think we're looking at more of an issue down the road. That's it on my end.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant.
Yep.
Commissioner Thomas, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Sure. Hi, Michelle. Once again, congratulations on 75 years at the same location. Just a quick question. How many incidents would you say occurred in your establishment over the last month or so?
That I know of, one.
One. And how long had you been the owner of the establishment?
Since my father passed away in the 80s.
Thank you so much. I have no further questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Michelle, anything else that you'd like to add before we close, before we move to deliberation?
No.
Thank you.
I would just ask that you close the public hearing or give a final call.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's do a final call for public comment, just for any folks who might have joined late.
Okay, so if you have not spoken on this item and like to speak on this item, please hit the raise hand icon.
All right.
I don't see anybody that hasn't spoken. I mean, if you would like to have.
I'm happy with that. I'll close public comment now. Excellent. So moving to deliberation, the rationale, when public dining, even in the private way, is a responsibility of the licensing commission. We have to balance the desire of the public to have these things and the potential harms to both the community as a whole and abutters specifically. I have never received this much feedback about a patio dining application. And the list of police calls to the police department for this applicant is about twice as long as anything else that I have before me, because I also have right here the list of 2 a.m. openings that we're up to review this month. And as part of that, we get a summary of all the police calls to them. So I think there's a lot of information before me that makes this look like a bad idea that we would need to basically immediately revisit. I don't think the information is there to show that this can be done in a way that is respectful to your neighbors. I think if you come back, as Lieutenant Matsakis said, if you're able to reduce this number of calls, reduce this number of disturbances, and you come back X months later and say, look, there have been no calls, I think you'd find a commission that's more amenable. But currently, I don't believe the evidence and paper trail justifies it. Commissioner Thomas, do you have anything that what are your thoughts on the subject?
I do feel strongly that Michelle does have the right to make income for an outdoor patio seating, because a lot of other establishments are afforded that right. However, when this impedes on the quality of life for people in the area, I think it becomes a concern for everybody. And the fact that there is no food service just puts me on the line that it is not necessary to take what can't be controlled inside which is obvious by the number of incidents that we have, just in the past, few weeks, I'm counting over 9 calls. Some, 911 errors, but for the most part, they were considerable. And as you pointed out, the incidents that we're looking at for the 2 a.m. closings, there are a lot that just say no issues. So with that said, I would strongly like to hear the chair's opinion. Maybe a move to delay this until January. But for my take would be not to approve this.
Personally, I don't see a value in delaying this just to January. I think if we want to see that scope of change that I would believe is appropriate for outside dining, it's going to take a couple of months of minimal police interaction. I would be inclined to deny this application.
I would move to support that.
Have a motion to deny?
I have spent over $500 in fees for this. Am I gonna get reimbursed from the fees I've already spent?
I'd recommend that you bring that up with the city clerk's office after this, and they'll be happy to discuss that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna hit. Okay. What was I gonna do? Okay,
Roll call.
roll call vote. All right. On the item, Commissioner Allen,
I vote nay on the motion to grant the license.
I second that.
Commissioner Thomas,
I second that.
Commissioner Lynch. With 2 opposed and 1 absent, this item is not approved.
Thank you. I'm sorry that we couldn't grant this today, but please do consider, I am serious. If you're able to show a change in circumstances, please come back to us and I would be happy to hear this again. But as it stands, we can't in good conscience. All right, moving back to the normal order of business, we have item number 2, 2024 license renewals. This is simply an administrative item where for all of the licenses issued by the Licensing Commission, we extend them effectively for another year. Do I have a motion to approve all 2024 license renewals?
On the item, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch, with 2 approvals and 1 absent, this item is approved.
Thank you. Moving to item number 3, we have several status reports on currently inactive licenses. We'll be starting with AL 17-000027 Nucleo Sporting Vista on 282 McGrath Highway. They're all forms private club license, continued from 10/22, 1/23, 4/23, 5/23, 6/23, 7/23, and 8/23. Is the license holder present?
So if you're here to speak on behalf of Nucleo Sporting Vista, please raise your hand. I know, I'm gonna lower everybody's hands. All right. If you are here to speak on behalf of Nucleo Sporting Vista, please raise your hand. Isaac Machado, I'm going to unmute you.
Hello.
Welcome. Could you please
Hi,
state-
good afternoon. Sorry about that, a little technologically unsavvy. Good evening. My name is Isaac Machado. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So I was in front of the board back in August, and now we're here giving a status update. So we have submitted everything to the city as far. So as you know, this license is being sold to somebody who's going to develop a restaurant on the 282 McGrath Highway. They're well into the process of, they've submitted all the required necessary submittals to the city. We have supported their license and we have submitted everything to the city also. So I believe now that the city has all the materials and now it's progressing with the ABCC and going forward.
Excellent. So you've executed a purchase and sale agreement with the new restaurateur.
Correct, we have. we've done that. We've submitted it to the city. We have submitted, there was an outstanding, I believe there was a $2,000 fee when we last met. That's been paid. And we have submitted anything that Andrea was looking to have. So as of this morning, when I spoke to the buyer's attorney, he seemed pretty confident that everything was in line and everything was submitted to the city.
Excellent. Given that you've executed a purchase and sale and the matter seems to be mostly out of your hands right now, I'd be happy giving this a pretty broad period of time. Basically, you would just come back to us in a couple of months if the purchase and sale falls through for some reason. How do you feel about checking in with us in March if you haven't completed the transaction?
That's appropriate. I really want to thank the commission for its patience, but March would be fine.
Commissioner Thomas, do you have any thoughts or questions for the applicant? Or
No questions at this time, Mr. Chair.
Excellent. I'll move to continue this to our March meeting.
On the continuance, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch. With two commissioners in favor and one absent, this item is continued to the March 2024 Licensing Commission meeting.
Thank you for coming for us to explain the current status.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you. Next up, item AL 17, license AL 17-000-326, Teal Square Cafe Inc., DBA The Basement, 1133B Broadway, and all forms private license continued from 5/22, 3/23, and 9/23. Counselor Upton, what do you have for us?
Attorney Upton, you are unmuted.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
That sounds great. As the board may have seen, we have filed for a building permit. There are still some residual ADA issues with the architect that I'm told are getting close to be cleared up. As I told you last time we met, they have bought some supplies. The owner wanted me to let you know that he would have gone a little faster, except he had to go to visit some relatives in Kathmandu, Nepal, over October, and he was there for a majority of the month. He did offer to submit some plane tickets in proof of that, but I told him that my recitation of that would probably be enough. That being said, he has filed for the permit and is looking forward to getting this moving, and I'm glad to answer any questions.
Commissioner Thomas, do you have any questions for the licensee?
Mr. Chair, no questions at this time. Thank you.
All right. Again, I think the theme is progress, but very slow. You didn't bring us any pictures of bricks or tiles this time, to the best of my knowledge.
No, but I can tell you they are still sitting there and they are paid for.
I'm gonna, let's see here. Last time we moved this forward 2 months. I'm inclined to again do 2 months, and we'll talk with you again on January.
That'd be fine. If it is possible to go into February, we'd appreciate that. He is in the midst of an expensive and complex build out of the Union Leaf store in Union Square, where he has experienced some significant flooding, which have taxed both his contractors and his resources. So if it's possible to go into February, we would appreciate that.
Commissioner Thomas, when do you believe the licensee should come for us again?
I think as soon as possible would be
All right.
direct. This has been a while.
Yeah, I understand the issues that he's had at another facility of his, but one of the things that we had actually touched on before was that owning multiple licenses in the city doesn't entitle one to special treatment. I have moved to continue this to our January meeting.
That will be fine.
All right, and on that continuance, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch, with 2 in favor and 1 absent, the item is continued to the January 2024 Licensing Commission meeting.
Thank you for your time, Counselor Upton. Next up, item number 4, Licensing Commission requesting a status report on the use of wine and malt package store license. License number AL 20-quadruple 017, Top Shelf at Assembly, 365 Canal Street, wine and malt package, continued from 11/22, 5/23, 7/23, 8/23, and 9/23. Is the licensee present?
Attorney Mark, I will unmute you. You may need to unmute yourself on your end.
Good evening, commissioners of the board. Mark Ipliadis for Lucy Grace, doing business as Top Shelf at Assembly. I had sent in a request for a continuance on this. As you know, we have sold or signed a purchase and sale agreement for the sale of this particular license. They have run into a building code issue. We had sent an update some time ago via email, but to bring you up to speed, the Adam Burkowski is the representative of the buyer of the license. And he sent me today that he spoke with Adam from Minsky at the planning office. He said that it was hard to pinpoint the exact date that the staff will be is juggling matters that need to be handled before the end of the year. So his prediction is that later half of December, likely 12/21/23. Here is a timeline of the events. In June 23, they submitted the application for planning. In July 23, they had a pre-application meeting with the planning board. In August of 23, had a Butters neighborhood meeting with Councilor Ewan Campen. In September of 2023, at the recommendation of Councilor Campen, the applicant held a second voluntary meeting on site with the neighbors as a community outreach program. In October of 2023, they submitted the formal special permit application and are awaiting the assignment of a hearing date. The attorneys for the buyer are intending to submit parallel applications for a special permit and historic preservation approval for ADA accessibility modifications, but ultimately submitted the special permit application first to avoid any further delay. All that being said, the application, as I said, for transfer has been submitted to your office, and you have postponed hearing it due to the fact that they have to go through this planning board assessment process, which has been, as you can hear, arduous and many steps. I'm open to any questions you may have regarding this matter. If this status report is sufficient, I'd request that this be either postponed indefinitely until such time that the buyer gets the approval from the planning commission so that they're squared away to move forward with their application, which is before you, or at least postpone this for 2 or 3 months.
Thank you for your time, Counselor. I appreciate the circumstance that you would like to transfer the license. You cannot transfer the license in the view of the licensing commission until the lot that you can transfer it to has appropriate zoning. And we are attempting to fix that currently. Would that be an accurate summation?
That is an accurate summation. We have, as we said, we purchased this license some time ago. With COVID, we were shut down. We put it up for sale. We got a qualified buyer. They put the deposit down. They signed the purchase and sale agreement. They filed the application. I know Attorney Burkowski is experienced in these matters, and I believe his firm is working diligently through the planning board process to get this resolved so that you can then have the hearing and the license can ultimately be transferred to this location.
Understood. I agree, us putting you in the spotlight again 2 months from now is unlikely to move things, given that you are not the planning board. Counselor Thomas, how long do you think we should continue this one?
I was going to be a counselor.
Oh.
2 years. I mean, I'm sorry, 2 years. 2 months would be. I do have a quick question.
I'm sorry about that.
Yes, so do we have, thank you for that detailed status report. Is that on file with the city?
Yes, my understanding is the applications and everything are on file with the city. And they are working with several people, but the person that they reached out and talked to today was Andrew Graham Insky at the planning office. And as I said, you know, they've gone through multiple steps that were required for them to go through. We haven't had any kind of, from what I understand, pushback by the neighborhood or any issues. It's just the process that it has to go through so that they have the appropriate designation so that they can hold the license there and have it transferred into that premise.
Okay, thank you for that, Councilor. I have no further questions, Chair. No issues.
Thank you. I'm inclined to that. I don't want to call them forth if they didn't have.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, apologies. I think I'm just speaking too quietly. Or are we
just close
thank you. I'm inclined to move to continue this for 3 months simply because I don't want to have them out here if the item still hasn't been heard by planning. So I'll make a motion to continue this for 3 months.
To the February meeting or March meeting?
To the February meeting. Yeah.
May I say something? If this happens to go through and it is approved by the planning commission, I'm absolutely sure that the buyer's council will be moving this to you prior to whatever date you set out in the future. The issue comes down to having to keep doing these hearings, which I understand why we have to do them, but I think they're working diligently on getting this done as quickly as possible.
I understand, and we have to balance the fact that now the gears are turning, but this is also a license that we've been pushing on since November of 2022. And that was not when it became inactive. So I apologize that, yes, if it's not resolved by February, we'll need another status update. But I am moving for this to be continued to our February meeting.
Okay, and on that continuance, Commissioner Allen.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch. With 2 in favor and 1 absent, this item is continued to the February 2024 Licensing Commission meeting.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on to special alcohol licenses. Item number 5, St. Anthony of Padua Parish, 12 Percy Way, Somerville, requesting the approval of a special alcohol license for Réveillon 2024 to be held indoors at 12 Percy Way, Somerville on 12/31/2023 from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. with alcohol service. Is the applicant present?
Jorge, not already. I'm unmuting you.
Good evening, commissioners.
Good evening. Could you please state your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Jorge Navarrete, and I'm representing San Antonio of Padua Parish for requesting the special alcohol license for our event to be held indoors on December 31st of this year.
Excellent. About how many people are you expecting at the event?
We are expecting a maximum of 350, but we are sure that it will be like 270, 300.
Okay. Will you be wristbanding?
Yes, exactly. We will use the wristbands, yes. And we already request the police detail and also fire detail.
You took my next 2 questions away from me. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Last question from me before I hand it over to my colleague. Purchasing your alcohol from a licensed distributor.
Yes, exactly. We will do that. We already have the list and we will purchase the alcohol.
Excellent, thank you. Commissioner Thomas?
Sure. Any issues, last year?
No issues last year.
Great. Just be mindful of the sound. And I have no further questions.
Excellent. With no further questions, I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On the approval, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch, with 2 in favor and 1 absent, that special alcohol license is approved.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Next up, item number 6, Fat Hen LLC, DBA La Braza, 124 Broadway, Somerville, requesting the approval of a special alcohol license for East Somerville Main Street's Holiday Market to be held outdoors in a private parking lot adjacent to Dino's Pasta, 15 Garfield Ave, Somerville, December 8th, 2023, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. with alcohol service. Is the applicant present?
If you're here to speak on behalf of this item, Daniel Bojorquez, I'm unmuting you.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi.
Please state your name for the record.
Yep. My name is Daniel Bojorquez, owner of Fat Hen LLC, DBA La Braza in Somerville. Yep. I'm working along with East Somerville Main Streets, trying to get a license for a day in order to serve alcohol at the Diano's Pasta parking lot. It's a private property, and this is going to be, as the commissioner says, it's an event taking place from 4 to 8, I believe it's 3 hours. And this is going to be a holiday market for the neighborhood. So,
Can we confirm, do you think it's from 4 to 8? Because our application shows 5 to 8.
oh yeah, 5 to 8. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, the application. I'm sorry, I'm not. I haven't really go through the application. I don't remember, but yeah, 5 to 8. That's correct.
Perfect. Just making sure we're all on the same page. Excellent. And the area for liquor service in this parking lot, will it be cordoned off?
Yes, the parking lot itself is all fenced in, and we definitely will have wristbands and we'll have control over, basically checking IDs and all that sort of thing. We currently have a liquor license at 124 Broadway, so we're familiar with the procedure to serve alcohol.
Perfect. Excellent. Commissioner Thomas, any questions for the applicant?
Sure. Any contingent rain date or weather date?
I believe Annie De Silva from East Somerville Main Street is present on the call. I'm not 100% sure about that.
No rain date was on the application.
On the application, sure. No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Let's check if Annie Silva is on and can.
Yeah. Annie Silva, I'm unmuting you.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
There is no rain date for this event. We are just hoping that cold weather is okay, but hopefully not inclement weather.
Understood. Thank you. And just for formalities, please state your name for the record.
My name is Ann Silva.
Thank you very much, Ann.
Thank you.
Excellent. Commissioner Thomas, any further questions?
No further questions.
Excellent.
Thank you.
With that, I will make a motion to approve.
Okay, on the item, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch, with 2 in favor and 1 absent, this special alcohol license is approved.
Great. Have a great event.
Thank you.
Excellent. Moving forward, entertain existing common victualler license requesting an entertainment by devices indoors. Item number 8, Merlin Entertainments Group, DBA Lego Discovery Center, Boston, 598 Assembly Row, number 302, Somerville, requesting approval of an entertainment by devices indoors license. This has been continued from our 9/25 and 10/23 meetings. Is the applicant present?
If you're here to speak on behalf of Merlin Entertainment Group, DBA Lego Discovery Center, Boston, please hit the raise hand icon in the chat. Again, if you're here to speak on behalf of Merlin Entertainment Group, DBA Lego Discovery Center, Boston, please hit the raise hand icon in the chat. don't see anyone.
Assistant City Clerk Bernabe Rodriguez, did we reach out to the applicant after they failed to appear previously?
We have attempted to reach out, have not heard back. My worry is that maybe this person has moved away or from the company and the contact information is outdated. Up to you whether you would like to continue it or deny it, and we would have them reapply if they would like to continue to have entertainment by devices in the future.
If we deny it, are they gonna get a letter sent that someone will actually read?
Ideally, in a perfect.
We've continued this for 3 months. That is longer than that is more forbearance than we issue most applicants. I think if they would like to come back and reapply for this, they can do that. They have exceeded our good graces. Commissioner Thomas, do you have any thoughts on the matter?
I think this company has undergone a lot of change in the area within the last, 6 to 12 months or so. So I can see where there may be some gaps in this type of, what we have here. So I don't have any issues continuing until next year, as we have done for the prior applicants.
Okay, in the holiday spirit, I'll go along with it. My only question would be, and I don't want to put extra work on the city council's office, but can we reach out and ask to speak to the manager?
Yeah, I think we'd be willing to send a letter to the location and see if we get a response that way.
Perfect. I think that would do it. Excellent. I would recommend that we do that simply to put some pressure to clear this off the agenda one way or another.
I would agree with that.
Excellent. Thank you. Make a motion to continue this to our January 2024 meeting.
On the item, Commissioner Allen.
Aye.
Well, on the continue to the item, Commissioner Allen.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch. With 2 in favor and 1 absent, this item is continued to the January 2024 Licensing Commission meeting.
Excellent. Moving forward to an existing all forms alcohol license, change of corporate structure. Item number 9, Mark Food Enterprises, DBA Oliveras Steakhouse, 120 Washington Street, requesting approval of a change of corporate structure. Current name, Mark Food Enterprises, Inc., proposed corporate name, Mark Food Enterprises, LLC. This item was continued from our 10/23 meeting. Is the applicant present?
If you're here to speak on behalf of Mark Food Enterprises, Counselor Upton, you are unmuted.
Welcome back, Counselor Upton.
Good evening again, Commissioners. Andrew Upton for the licensee. This restaurant intends to continue operating exactly the same as it always has, with no changes whatsoever, except for the fact that in consultation with their accountants, they want to change from Inc. to LLC. But other than that, absolutely no changes at all.
Happy to hear it. Commissioner Thomas, any questions?
No questions. It's not every day you see a transition like this, but no questions.
Excellent. Anything else you'd like to add, Counselor?
Nope, just a simple corporate change.
Perfect. Make a motion to approve.
On the approval of the item, Commissioner Allen.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch. With 2 in favor and 1 absent, this application for a change of corporate structure is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 10, existing package store, all forms alcohol license, change of hours. Mahat Guru Corporation, DBA Liquor World, 223, 231 Elm Street, Somerville, requesting approval of a change of hours. Current hours, Monday through Saturday, 8 to 11, Sunday, 10 to 9. Proposed hours, Monday through Saturday, 8 to 11, so no change. Sunday, 10 to 11 p.m., an extra 2 hours later on Sundays. Is the applicant present?
If you're here to speak on behalf of Mahan Guru Corporation, DBA Liquor World, please hit the raise hand icon. Matthew Porter, I'm unmuting you.
Hey, good evening. Thank you, Commissioners. Matthew Porter from Mahan Guru. Fairly straightforward. This is a change of hours. As was stated, the hours are looking to expand just their Sunday hours from 9 p.m., which is the current closing time, to 11 p.m.
Understood. How are you finding running that storied institution?
Well, I'm their attorney, but they tell me it's great.
Fair enough, fair enough. Any questions for the applicant, Commissioner?
No questions in this regard.
Perfect. Make a motion to approve.
On the item, on the approval of the item, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch. With 2 in favor and 1 absent, this application for a change of hours is approved.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on, item number 11, a new common victualler license. Some Coffee LLC, DBA Dunkin' Donuts, 154 Highland Ave, Somerville, requesting approval of a common victualler's license. 11 indoor seats and hours of operation, Sunday through Monday, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. Is the applicant present?
Mark Hesse, I'm going to unmute you.
Hello.
Hello, could you please state your name for the record?
Hi, Mark Page. I'm the owner of the Dunkin' Donuts on 154 Highland Ave. Good evening.
Excellent. Thank you. Welcome to the Licensing Commission. Could you please give us a brief summary of what you're coming before us today for?
Yes, just purchased the Dunkin' Donuts from the Cavallo family that operated the Dunkin' Donuts before me. No changes at all in the staffing, the store, the hours, everything will remain the same. Just a change of ownership.
Sounds good. Commissioner Thomas, any questions for the applicant?
Sure. How many years experience do you have running?
So 35 years. I own and operate a lot of stores in this particular area. I grew up in Everett, Massachusetts, and we just started to get into Somerville recently. But owned a bunch of Dunkin' Donuts in Concord and Acton, Massachusetts, Needham, and Framingham area.
Great. Thank you for choosing Somerville, and I'm sure Somerville will be one of your best.
We're excited to be here. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Perfect. With no further questions, I'll make a motion to approve.
On the approval of the item, Commissioner Allen.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch. With 2 in favor and 1 absent, this common victualler license is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving into late items, we have communications. Item number 12, City Clerk conveying 2024 proposed Somerville Licensing Commission meeting schedule. Bernabe, are we required to act on that to make it official?
So yes, I think you should, because there is a change. We spoke with Chair Lynch regarding this change, so this was included in the meeting materials. We are hoping that the Somerville Licensing Commission will move to 3rd Tuesday instead of the 3rd Monday of the week. The reason being is, 1, due to a lot of holidays falling on Mondays this upcoming year, and even in previous years, it has made it a little bit difficult to sort of, work around dates and work around sort of finding space that's available. Also on Mondays, considering we move back to being hybrid, the commission, the great chambers of the city council is priority to the council, and then the school committee. Fortunately, right now, the school committee meets on the Mondays, and they would have the priority over the licensing commission to meet here. So in the sense of trying to maneuver around those dates, it would be a lot easier to work on a Tuesday and have the meeting on Tuesday for for staff, but also for availability of the space for participants to show up, appear if they'd like, especially with the move towards a permanent hybrid model. And yeah, and it would avoid any sort of issues with holidays, like I said.
Okay, no change in the lead times for people to get their paperwork before the.
No
Okay.
change in that instance.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Thomas, any thoughts?
No, I have no issues.
Cool. Happy to facilitate that and happy to continue getting access to the grand chambers available here. So I will make a motion to approve the proposed 2024 meeting schedule.
Yeah, so this is a communication, so we could place this one on file.
Place it on
We
file?
could place it
Okay.
on file, so
Thank you. This is what I was looking for.
just motion to place on file.
Make a motion to place on. Thank you very
Decided to
much.
place on file.
Perfect.
And then the, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, excellent. Moving on to number 13, Somerville Police Department conveying a report on 2 a.m. closing establishments. For anybody who may not know, our 2 a.m. liquor licenses, as part of our established procedure, every year we review them and judge if that 2 a.m. extension continues to be appropriate. As part of this, we'll discuss with our police liaison, take in any community input, and see if any actions need to be taken. So we have a number of those before us here. I won't read the date approved, but I'll read the list of businesses just so it's in the record. We're reviewing this for the Independent, Casey's, Vera's, Old Magoon Saloon, Foundry on Elm, The Burren, Pasica, Trina's Starlight Lounge, El Potro, and Earl's Kitchen and Bar. Flipping over, La Posada, Restaurant, Holiday Inn, Gaucho, Premiere on Broadway, and issued just 3 months ago, the Thirsty Scholar. So for this, I think I'll start it off with going to Lieutenant Matsakis. We got the report that you provided on the summary of all police calls from 2022 to present, 11/2022 to present. Was there any additional color or thoughts that you wanted to add to that?
No, just like I said, on some of those, the call volume is high. For example, like Earl's not high, but Earl's Kitchen, the location gets hit because where it is in Assembly Row, so there's a lot of action throughout that area. So it could be for medicals and disputes, but majority of the calls are outside. They're not nothing to do with Earl's.
Understood. Thank you.
And there was like the Burn. The Burn's always been pretty active, but they have they have a good security in there. They do a pretty good job of handling their own issues. Other than that, everybody else has been fine.
That's good. One of the things I wanted to ask about is like, are these establishments being proactive in terms of calling the police department before events escalate?
They were pre-COVID. I'm starting to see it more now. Like I said, the 3-year pause, everything's been set off. So it's kind of hard to go big. Prior to that, it was always, they were very proactive in calling us. It's starting to turn that way again, but the last 3 years, plus years, it's been kind of hard to keep a stat on that. But
Understood. Thank you.
no problem.
Thank you. Commissioner Thomas, do you have any thoughts or questions?
I know for Earl's, being a former DJ myself, Earl's is becoming the new hotspot for let outs. The word out there. So just be mindful that area may need to be monitored a little bit more moving forward. And can we get a little bit more color on the possibility of the homeless issue for Basquiat?
Yes, if you recall, the city's done a good job taking care of it, but we had a homeless population stationed out front where the benches were, if you know the area. But there was an issue going back over the summer, pretty significant. And most of those calls were always for fights and disputes, medicals, would hit off on that address. It would come up location-wise, so.
So it's just the correlation connection that's there. Okay.
Yeah, the restaurant itself has been, like I said, very minimal. But unfortunately, just the location where the homeless population was stationed for quite a while, the numbers, were significantly higher for that address.
Completely understood, and I appreciate the detail.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, and thank you for the color on that, Lieutenant. Looking at this, I think, well, I appreciate the details that the lieutenant provided. This looks pretty normal to me, and I don't see the need to take any action on any of these licensees. I'm inclined to continue them all for 2024. Do you have any thoughts?
No, I in agreement.
Perfect. Move to continue all 2 a.m. licenses listed in my earlier readout forward to 2024. It looks like you want to say something.
Sorry. So since this is just communication from the police department, we would just place this on file as well. And then if you would like to follow up with any, we could reach out to any licensed unions.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah, if you just want to say that, we're gonna place it on file.
Communication placed on file.
Thank you.
Excellent. Moving forward, one remaining item on our agenda. Item number 14, new common victular license, our second Dunkin' Donuts of the evening. Some Donuts LLC, DBA Dunkin' Donuts, 504 Broadway, Somerville, requesting approval of a common victular license. 18 indoor seats and hours of operation from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., Sunday through Monday. Is the applicant present?
If you're here to speak on behalf of this item, please hit the raise hand icon. Mark, I believe you are speaking on this again.
Yes, hi, Mark Page again, owner of the Dunkin' Donuts on 504 Broadway also. And I just know this is actually a 24-hour store, 7 days a week. So I just noticed that on that.
Thank you. Let's double check that. And while the city clerk is checking that, is this the same story as the previous?
Yeah, same owner, same story, no changes at all.
Just out of curiosity, the LLC is different between the two.
Yes, we do that for each individual store for tax reasons and accounting purposes.
Understood. Thank you.
So the application does state that they applied for 5 to 11.
All right.
So
Do we know if can we confirm the existing facility?
I can look that. See if I
All
can
right.
find it.
We're double checking some stuff right now. I'm happy to issue this. Personally, I would be happy to do this as 24/7 if that's what's there right now.
Do those require a public hearing?
Don't believe so, but.
Yeah, because we've done late night common victulars
Yeah.
and we haven't needed to do a public hearing.
Yeah, this is our only 24-hour store, and I think, I think it helps with first responders. I think it really helps the neighborhood in the area, give somebody a place to go get a cup of coffee or something to eat. So it's actually, I think it's great for the community.
Fair enough. We'll just wait a second here while we check the current status of that. There we go.
Yes, 24 hours in the platform. There they are. Let me double check uh, they need to go, that's the reason. So,
Please
since
go
the
ahead.
city clerk, Bernabé Rodriguez here, the reason being is currently the common victular can only go till 11 p.m. before the licensing commission. If they would like to extend hours, they would need to apply for that before the city council. So the city council does offer a business license for common victular restaurants to extend hours to 24/7. So the commission is allowed to approve an application that goes to 11 p.m., but you would also need to submit an application for extended hours. If you have not done so already, you can reach out to my office and we could help you do that. It's with Citizen Serve as well. So yeah, that's the way it would.
Okay, they have a 24-hour license up right now. That's,
Yeah, those
yeah.
licenses are not transferable.
Okay, I can have the office reach out tomorrow.
Okay.
Perfect. And just for clarification, when the city council grants that 24-hour license, the licensing commission isn't involved?
No.
Perfect.
Not involved.
All right. All right, so given that, are you happy with us moving forward right now with the 5 AM to 11 with the understanding that you'll follow up with the city council?
Yes.
Perfect. Any questions, Commissioner Thomas?
Quick question, did the transaction also include, parking spaces across the street there?
No, just what's in the lot.
In the
Do you
lot
mean,
parts?
do you mean like the CVS or do you mean the across the other road?
Directly across from Duncan, across from Anthony's there.
Yeah, it did not. It was
Okay.
just the existing parking lot.
Thank you. No further questions.
Excellent. With no further questions, I'll make a motion to approve.
So on the approval of this item, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Lynch, with 2 in favor and 1 absent, this common victor license is approved.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Yep. Take a quick look through the agenda, making sure we didn't continue anything. The only thing we continued was Legoland.
Yep.
They don't have anybody here. So I am going to, with that, say this is the last meeting of the Somerville Licensing Commission in 2023. We do not meet in December. So everyone, please have a happy holiday season. Thank you, Lieutenant Matsakis. Thank you, Captain Bakey. Thank you to our engineering team who pushed through a lot of patio applications this year. Thank you to the city clerk's offices for their help and guidance. Thank you, Councilor Thomas. Counselor.
I love
Thank you,
it.
Commissioner
I love it.
Thomas. I'm gonna have to ask you after this what let-ons mean.
Right.
But we'll save that for later. And with that, I will adjourn this final meeting of the 2023 Somerville Licensing Commission.
On adjournment, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Robert's Rules of Order say you don't need a vote to adjourn.
I don't. I'll do it just for the time. Commissioner Thomas,
Renegade rules of order. Aye.
Commissioner Lynch, with 2 in favor and 1 absent, this meeting is adjourned.